Tonight on Apple Valley News Now at 5, new information on the search for a driver at the Black Canyon fire.
Also tonight, first responders find the missing plane and pilot that disappeared while fighting a wildfire in Oregon, in one Oregon National Forest.
Also tonight, Water Follies weekend is here, from the air show to the big races. We have you covered with everything you need to know about one of the Tri-Cities' largest annual events. Also, meteorologist Tiffany Savona is in for Stacy. She's keeping a close watch on the forecast. Will temps stay cool? The answer coming up.
This is Apple Valley News Now at 5 on your side.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Alyssa Warner.
And I'm Austin Reed. Here we go on this Friday.
And we'll get started with the latest on our wildfire coverage in the area. FEMA authorized federal funds to help fight the Rimrock Retreat fire in Yakima County. A federal fire management assistant grant was approved today by the FEMA administrator, who determined that the fire is threatening to cause so much destruction it would constitute a major disaster. The Retreat fire has now burned more than 18,000 acres. This is about 14 miles southwest of Natchez. It has caused widespread evacuation notices in the area.
Now to an update on the Black Canyon fire also burning in Yakima County. In a story we first brought you yesterday, fire investigators say they were searching for the driver of a truck seen in the area of this fire just before it started. But we learned today that investigators found the driver and has spoken to them. But police did not give any further information on what info they learned. Fire officials say they are still working to contain this fire.
So our primary objectives have been to check the fire spread to the south, protect the structures along the Weenus Drive here, the main road, and also the community here at the Weenus Lake. Our biggest challenges have been just a lack of resources, so it's taken us a couple days to get around it, but we have the north flank and east flank in very good shape, and we continue to mop up from the origin at DP 30 down through Alpha. A continued operation today is to continue to secure the presence along those structures there, and with any luck, we'll have this thing in patrol status by Sunday.
Commissioner of Public Lands Hillary Franz visited the Black Canyon fire today. She praised the work of the firefighters and first responders. Now, the fire has burned nearly 10,000 acres. Coming up at 6, hear from Franz as she tours the area.
The Powerline Road Fire, which is also referred to as the Walla Walla River Road Fire, has triggered evacuation levels for people who live in and around Milton Freewater. At last check, the fire is burning 1,500 acres. Containment is unknown. It started around 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon, just about 10 miles southeast of Walla Walla in Umatilla County, Oregon. This fire has evacuation levels 1 and 2 associated with it. We have that information on our website, applevalleynewsnow.com. And with the fires happening in and around our area, we spoke with the Deputy Director of the Oregon Department of Emergency Management about how to get prepared for the worst. She says when you're dealing with a level 3 go now evacuation in your area, don't hesitate, just go. If you wait around, you're not only putting your own life at risk, you're also adding to the danger that first responders face. She also says during fire season, keep your neighbors in mind.
Go next door. Hey, did you hear we're on a level 3? Hey, do you need help because we're on a level 3? Do you understand where the impacts are? Do you need a ride, right? Because there are more people, there are more individuals in these communities than there are first responders.
Some of the basic steps to start your emergency plan include having a communication plan, knowing what you want to take with you, knowing where to go and for how long. And if you are ordered to evacuate, you should not return home until that order has been lifted so that you can let firefighters do their job and avoid putting any lives at risk. Now, from wildfires to Water Follies weekend, there's a lot to unpack in our forecast.
Yeah, there sure is. Let's check in with meteorologist Tiffany Savona now. She's filling in for Stacy and has a first look at our forecast.
Unfortunately, the poor air quality will continue through the weekend, and it looks pretty hazy, pretty smoky outside in Yakima right now. It's kind of hard to see through the camera lens there, so visibility has been reduced. Temperatures have actually been kept down a few degrees, and it looks like we will see that haze kind of stick around overnight since the winds are going to be so light and the winds aren't really going to move the smoke around too much. The air quality healthy down into the unhealthy for those in sensitive groups. That's the elderly, the young children, and also those with respiratory issues. So stay inside if you do fall into one of those categories, or if your eyes are burning, or if it feels like you're starting to get a runny nose. Stay inside this evening as well. The rest of us doing much better as the haze isn't quite as thick in those locations. Air quality alert in effect for the Yakima Valley and also into the Tri-Cities and the foothills of the Blues. This is until further notice. So like I mentioned, these air quality issues will continue right through your weekend. Temperatures have been kept down into the 80s. That's nice. We saw 80s yesterday, 80s today, but that will be changing. If you plan on going to the Dust Devils game this evening in the Tri-Cities, it will be a bit hazy, but not quite as bad as what it looks like out there in Yakima. 86 by 7, 82 at 8 o'clock, and dropping into the middle 70s. Wind, not an issue, only variable at about 5 miles per hour. We'll let you know how long the haze and the smoke will linger and when temperatures return back into the 90s. Coming up, Alyssa and Austin, back to you.
Tiffany, thank you. Other news tonight, an airplane that went missing while fighting a wildfire in Oregon has been found. The tanker disappeared while fighting one of the many wildfires spreading across several western states, of course. A Grant County, Oregon search and rescue team actually found the aircraft late this morning. Officials say the pilot on board is dead. He was the only person on board. The FAA and the National Transportation Safety Board are now investigating the cause of this crash.
And a quick reminder, we are on your side throughout fire season 2024. Stay with Apple Valley News Now on air and online for continuing coverage. And if you haven't done so yet, make sure to download our app for alerts so that you know when the fire is near you.
Well, in Yakima, a Pepsi Cola semi-truck crashed this morning, which triggered a lot of backed up traffic in the area. Police say this crash happened at the intersection of West Nob Hill Boulevard and South 40th Avenue. Authorities say the semi collided with a signal pole. No other vehicles were involved. The cause of the crash now under investigation.
And if you were driving eastbound on I-82 this morning near Benton City, you might have been stuck in traffic. State Patrol troopers were in pursuit of a reckless driver from Prosser. The state troopers blocked in that driver, and they say 2 people tried to run away but were caught. The state troopers say no one was injured. They are continuing to investigate the situation. Representative Dan Newhouse, who serves District 4 here in Southeast Washington, delivered remarks at the House Natural Resources Indian Affairs Subcommittee hearing. Newhouse delivered remarks on his legislation, which is called the Uniform Credentials for Indian Providers Act. Newhouse says this bill amends the Indian Health Care Improvement Act to create a centralized system that he says will prevent malpractice, cut down on the onboarding backlog, establish a standard of care for the tribes, and ensure that providers at IHS facilities are vetted.
Through a process that's known as credentialing and privileging. Currently, this process involves meeting credentialing requirements that are spread across multiple and sometimes conflicting documents, making it quite challenging for officials to effectively and efficiently credential incoming medical providers.
Currently, the Indian Health Care Improvement Act requirements are spread across multiple and sometimes conflicting documents, which make it challenging for officials to know of and to meet those requirements.
Well, today the Dow surged more than 800 points, nearly 2%, as the stock market gears up for rate cuts. Strong corporate earnings have helped stocks achieve repeated record highs in 2024, despite stubborn inflation forcing investors to dial down their expectations about federal rate cuts. But cooling inflation and that data in recent weeks has led Wall Street to bet that the Federal Reserve will finally cut interest rates in September. All right, the news at 5 is just getting started. Still ahead, the Olympics kick off tonight, and our Lucy Lobdell will show us how the athletes are staying cool in the heat.
Well, and here in our area, the water follies got underway at Columbia Park today. That's just the start of a very busy weekend. We're covering it all for you.
And as we leave you to break, a live look outside in Richland, Tiffany Savona will be back. She'll have your full forecast right after this.
I have worked with Senator Curtis King for the past 2 years, and I know how much he cares about the constituents in his district. He is well respected by both parties. He is results oriented, and he works very hard for the district.
We got to elect Curtis King. He has a proven record. We're very lucky to have him as a representative in the Senate.
There is no better candidate for the job than Senator Curtis King.
I'm Senator Curtis King, and I'd appreciate your support. Thank you.
I'm Jared Sessler, a Navy veteran, job creator, candidate for Congress, and I approve this message. It was a great honor to receive President Trump's endorsement, and unlike my opponent Dan Newhouse, who joined Democrats to impeach President Trump, I'll be a strong ally for the MAGA agenda. But an even greater honor would be to earn your support. I took an oath to this country when I began my military service, and I kept it. And I'm asking for your vote so I can take that oath once more and serve in Congress as the conservative we deserve.
I learned the value of hard work right here in these fields as my immigrant parents pick crops. I graduated from Yakima Valley College and Gonzaga, worked for Congress and the state legislature. Now I'm running for state senate because we need someone who will fight for Central Washington. We're losing good paying jobs and warehouses are closing. I'm Maria Beltran, and I ask for your vote because our best days are ahead of us.
Paid for by friends Maria Beltran.
Well, it's almost election time.
Typical politicians trying to tell us they're conservative.
Yeah, well, that's not Congressman Newhouse. He worked with the liberals to try to remove Trump. And don't get me started on that Sessler.
He's not just a vegan.
Sessler wants a 30% tax on everything we buy.
Even my haircut.
Even my beer. He wants 30% if I want to buy new land.
So the choice is a never Trumper or a vegan.
Tiffany Smiley.
Oh, Smiley's the one.
I really like her.
MWSA Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I'm Tiffany Smiley, and I approve this message.
He's been in office way too long. He's completely out of touch. Even voted to give total amnesty and citizenship to millions of illegal immigrants. You might be thinking Joe Biden, but it's Dan Newhouse. That's right, Amnesty Dan and Sleepy Joe work together to encourage the invasion of gangs, drugs, and crime into our communities. So now it's time for Dan and Joe to go.
Operation Best Friend on Good Morning Northwest, sponsored by Windermere Group 1.
Welcome back. Apple Valley News Now's Restaurant Showdown started just over 2 weeks ago with 64 restaurants vying to become the area's best as chosen by you, our viewers.
Yeah, and after 2 rounds and thousands of votes, there are 16 restaurants left. Round 3 ends this Sunday night at 8. So just scan the QR code on your screen to vote using your mobile or click on contests at applevalleynewsnow.com. Select Restaurant Showdown on your laptop or desktop. After voting, be sure to enter to win a $25 gift card from STCU. More information at applevalleynewsnow.com.
The Tri-City Waterfall is kicked off today and people enjoyed free admission to Columbia Park. Now the boats today couldn't race because of low water levels, but that's not expected to affect the races too much. This is a 3-day event with more than the hydroplane races on the Columbia River. We spoke with a father and son who have been coming down to the event for years. They tell us the races are just part of the reason this has become a family tradition.
I like to come back because I like the racing, but I also like to spend time with my family and my friends, and that's all it is a bunch of family and friends all in one place.
That's the whole reason we do it, just get our family together and have a good time, and it's the bonus for racing.
Now, the dad told us he's been coming down to the Waterfallies since 1979. His son made his first appearance to the event when he was 1 month old in the year 2000.
And a bit further down the Columbia, Art in the Park began this morning at Howard Amon Park in Richland. Hundreds of artists have their crafts on display, and tens of thousands of people are expected to attend this year. Food, drinks, and live music surround the booths at the 73rd annual event. Ben Franklin Transit is providing a shuttle to the park from the surrounding area. It arrives every 15 minutes until 7 p.m. One artist we spoke with makes monster-themed pottery. She says her creatures are more than just a product for people to buy.
All my monsters come with a name and a story, so it shows like a little bit of the story. So like Sharon is cranky, and then whoever gets the piece gets to break the wax seal, and the rest of the story is on the inside.
Hey, that's unique. Now, if you missed the event today, booths will be open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. tomorrow. We were out there today, and parking was a nightmare, so our crews say plan accordingly. More information about schedules, menus, artists, and transportation can be found at artintheparkfestival.com. Well, today is the opening ceremonies for the Paris 2024 Olympics. And as athletes from all around the world try to go for the gold, there is another thing they will have to compete against.
Well, we just got through this, high temperatures. Apple Valley News Now's Lucy Lobdell has more about how Olympians handle extreme heat.
Soaring temperatures, scorching sun. The 2024 Olympics is expected to be one of the hottest ever, and Team USA will feel the heat as they go for the gold.
With extreme heat, obviously the body, it's trying to cool itself down, so you end up sweating a lot. You lose a tremendous amount of fluid.
Sarah Wick works with athletes at Ohio State University's Jameson Crane Sports Medicine Institute. Olympian or not, she says any sport that exposes you to the heat for long periods can cause the loss of several pounds in water weight, which can make a person vulnerable to heat-related illness. That's why staying hydrated is critical.
They sip on water all day. If it's something that they're training twice a day, they may use a sports drink.
Wick says sports drinks can help replenish electrolytes, but diet can also help. Foods like watermelon are comprised mostly of water and can aid hydration. Wick also recommends athletes eat saltier foods when excessively sweating.
Like your pretzels, pickles, those kind of things that have more sodium in them. And then we'll ask them actually use a salt shaker on their food so they can help to keep themselves hydrated.
To check hydration levels, Wick says to take a look at your urine. The color is a good indicator.
If your urine color is clear, transparent, it might be a light lemonade color, but that lets us know that you're hydrated.
For Apple Valley News Now, I'm Lucy Lobdell.
Now, she also says that the athletes should be finding ways to cool their bodies down after prolonged exercise and extreme heat. She says ice packs or even popsicles can help. You'll also want to watch your caffeine and alcohol consumption because those can add to dehydration.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Tiffany Savona.
Good evening, and we're dealing with more smoke, more haze, and that's making the air quality continue to go down and deteriorate this evening across much of the region. The worst of it is in Yakima. This is what it looks like at Antanthium Ridge. You can barely see out of our camera. Visibility is clearly reduced, and our visible satellite imagery capturing the smoke and the haze from the wildfires in Yakima County. You can see Yakima, the city of Yakima, just downwind of that fire. That is why the visibility and the air quality has dropped so much there, and we'll likely see air quality going down in the Hanford area. It hasn't been as bad across southern Umatilla and southern Morrow counties this evening compared to the past couple of days. So we may get a little bit of break in the smoke and in the haze across portions of Northeast Oregon as we head into the weekend. Air quality in that moderate category for everyone except for Yakima and Toppenish. That's where we're in code orange, which is where it's unhealthy for those in sensitive groups. Sensitive groups include young children, the elderly, or folks with any respiratory issues, or even including asthma and things like that. So if you fall into one of those categories, be sure to stay inside, keep the young kids inside, as it's not safe to be breathing that in. Air quality alert in effect for the Yakima Valley, including Tri-Cities and even east into portions of the foothills of the Blues. This does not include Northeast Oregon. However, I still think we'll see some haze through the weekend there as well. So here are just some things to keep in mind as we go into the weekend. You want to stay inside, keep the kids inside if it's clearly smoky, as it is right now in Yakima. Keep your windows and your doors closed. Avoid any strenuous activity. I know a lot of you probably like to get outdoors to do your morning workout. It's probably best to bring that inside. And if you can, use those high efficiency particulate air filters to kind of keep those small smoke particles out of your home. Now, temperatures have been kept down today into the 80s. We're a little bit cooler where the smoke is thicker. 82 in Yakima, 81 in Ellensburg. It's 84 in Toppenish, 86 in Tri-Cities, 81 in Walla Walla, and 84 in Hermiston. So we are below average for this time of year. This is our second day where highs have been in the 80s. Winds are light. Now, you may think that's not an issue, but it actually is going to keep all that smoke and haze kind of trapped overnight, so it's not really going to have anywhere to go. And you can see that on our Futurecast smoke model. The smoke and the haze just lingers overhead overnight into tomorrow morning and during the day tomorrow afternoon as well. So we're looking at another smoky, another hazy day tomorrow, probably similar to what we're seeing right now. By tomorrow morning, we'll drop into the low and middle 50s. Tomorrow afternoon, it's looking nice other than that haze that may be apparent in the sky for the Tri-Cities Water Follies forecast. Temperatures will start off in the 60s and 70s in the morning, not bad, but then it'll heat up pretty quickly. We're talking about lower 80s by noon, and then we're back into the lower 90s tomorrow. Unfortunately, those 90s making a comeback. 91 in Hermiston tomorrow, 89 Walla Walla, 90 Prosser, 88 in Yakima, and 84 in Ellensburg. Sunday is going to be pretty similar to Saturday, except the wind is going to start to pick up. So with those breezy conditions coming into play, the fire danger will likely be increasing. 90 on Monday. Our next storm system moves in late Monday, early Tuesday. That's when we could squeeze out a few showers and storms. And then we're back in the 90s and even triple digits by the end of next week. 88 in Yakima tomorrow, 89 in breezy Sunday. Pretty hazy this weekend, just like today. And then we'll see those temperatures drop a little bit with a chance for a few showers and storms late Monday night into Tuesday morning. Walla Walla upper 80s, close to 90 this weekend. The wind picks up Sunday, continues Monday and Tuesday. And then Hermiston 91 this weekend, 90 on Monday. We drop it down to 86 Tuesday, and then look by the end of the week, everyone back in the triple digits. Alyssa and Austin, back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Tiffany. Well, still ahead here on Apple Valley News Now at 5. A company is recalling ready-to-eat deli meats. We'll explain.
And why you should check your cupboards for a certain brand of cinnamon. We'll be right back with the news at 5 after this.
Round 3 voting is now open in Apple Valley News Now's Restaurant Showdown.
Tiffany Smiley is not who she says she is.
Tiffany Smiley started a PAC claiming to raise money to support conservative candidates, but contributions were funneled to pay off her own $1 million campaign debt.
Of the almost $800,000 she raised, only $24,800 went to candidates. Instead, Tiffany used the money on luxury travel and to try to pay off her massive debt.
Tiffany Smiley deceived her donors. Don't let her deceive you.
I'm Dan Newhouse, and I approve this message.
Warning, if you or a loved one is considering a Subaru Crosstrek from McCurley Subaru, know that it may cause sudden urges to explore the great outdoors, cruise with the windows down, or explore off the beaten path. Common side effects include appreciation of spacious interiors, advanced tech features, and the ability to fit all your wild ideas. Consult your sense of adventure before driving and find out why the Crosstrek is perfect for you at McCurley Subaru.
Find your way home in a new Crosstrek for only $329 a month.
It's the all-new Apple Valley News Now weekend with local news, regional news, first alert weather, and much more every Saturday and Sunday, including a complete wrap-up Sunday night at 11. Apple Valley News Now weekend from Apple Valley News Now, always on your side.
Adelante. At last, we can finally have someone who understands us in the state Senate. Maria Beltran understands us because Maria is from Yakima. The daughter of immigrant parents, she's lived the challenges in our community. She'll fight for us hardworking people, so there's more work with better pay. Maria Beltran, so finally the state Senate will have a fighter for Yakima and for us. Maria Beltran, adelante.
As a mother and community leader, I know what it means to work hard and make tough decisions. Como miembro de nuestra comunidad, I've seen firsthand the challenges we face. We need affordable groceries, quality healthcare, and safety in our neighborhoods. I am committed to listening and working for everyone in our community. Juntos podemos crear un futuro mejor para el 14th District. I am Ana Ruiz Kennedy. Echémosle ganas. I'll be honored to earn your vote.
I'm Jared Sessler, a Navy veteran, job creator, candidate for Congress, and I approve this message. It was a great honor to receive President Trump's endorsement, and unlike my opponent Dan Newhouse, who joined Democrats to impeach President Trump, I'll be a strong ally for the MAGA agenda. But an even greater honor would be to earn your support. I took an oath to this country when I began my military service, and I kept it. And I'm asking for your vote so I can take that oath once more and serve in Congress as the conservative we deserve.
Welcome back. In a health alert tonight, Boar's Head is recalling over 200,000 pounds of deli meat due to a potential listeria contamination. 34 people in 13 states have gotten sick from the sliced meat leak, causing 33 hospitalizations and 2 deaths. Listeria poisoning symptoms can be dangerous or life-threatening, especially for older adults, people with weak immune systems, and pregnant women. Of course, if you have a recalled product, you should immediately throw it out or return it.
And the FDA has issued a public health alert for El Salvador ground cinnamon because of potential lead contamination. If you have it, throw it away. The agency is urging the distributor to issue a voluntary recall. The FDA's decision came as a result of testing by the New York State Department of Ag and Markets. Young children face the greatest health risk of lead contamination.
All right, we've got a final look at your first alert forecast coming up next.
Newscasts anytime with Apple Valley Plus on Roku, Apple Fire, and smart TVs.
I grew up picking cherries right here in this orchard. Bumps and bruises on us, never on them. If only Congress worked that way. Professional politicians look out for themselves, while working families suffer from inflation, open borders, drugs, and crime. We can do better. We can secure our border and make life affordable again by picking better people to fight for us in Congress. I'm Tiffany Smiley, and I approve this message.
Adelante. At last, we can finally have someone who understands us in the state Senate. Maria Beltran understands us because Maria is from Yakima. The daughter of immigrant parents, she's lived the challenges in our community. She'll fight for us hardworking people, so there's more work with better pay. Maria Beltran. So finally, the state Senate will have a fighter for Yakima and for us. Maria Beltran, adelante.
I learned the value of hard work right here in these fields as my immigrant parents pick crops. I graduated from Yakima Valley College and Gonzaga, worked for Congress and the state legislature. Now I'm running for state Senate because we need someone who will fight for Central Washington. We're losing good-paying jobs and warehouses are closing. I'm Maria Beltran, and I ask for your vote because our best days are ahead of us.
Paid for by friends Maria Beltran.
If you think Dee Dee stays home all day eating bonbons, then you'd be wrong, because that's not how Dee Dee rolls. You see, Dee Dee lives within winning distance of Legends Casino Hotel. Yep, that's how Dee Dee likes to roll. Get out of the house, go have some fun, play to win. And why not stay the night? Legends Casino Hotel, because you're within winning distance and fun is how we roll.
I have worked with Senator Curtis King for the past 2 years, and I know how much he cares about the constituents in his district. He is well respected by both parties. He is results oriented, and he works very hard for the district.
We got to elect Curtis King. He has a proven record. We're very lucky to have him as a representative in the Senate.
There is no better candidate for the job than Senator Curtis King.
I'm Senator Curtis King, and I'd appreciate your support. Thank you.
Tonight, Susan Powell was a young, beautiful mother. She just one night vanished. Josh, did you kill your wife? I'll never forget the first time that I met him. A chill raced up my spine. I just shook the hand of the killer.
2020, tonight on ABC.
Next ET, one-on-one with Jenny Garth, remembering her 90210 co-star Shannon Doherty. Plus, we're with the Marvel stars taking over Comic-Con.
It's a team effort.
Next ET.
Tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
Here's a story you will only see on Apple Valley News Now.
Yeah, the Mapton City Council is working to recall its mayor, a story our own Emily Goodell brought us first last month. Last night, the City Council called a special meeting, but when they showed up to City Hall, they realized they were locked out. That didn't stop the council from doing business, though. Emily was there to capture it all.
Yeah, so catch that exclusive story again. That's tonight at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, but coming up, we're going to talk about the forecast before we do that.
Yes.
Good evening, and we're going to heat up as we head into the weekend. It was nice to see highs in the 80s yesterday and today. Tomorrow we'll keep it in the upper 80s in Yakima. We're looking at more smoke, more haze. So if you start to develop a runny nose or your eyes start burning, that's your clue to head inside and stay inside until the air quality improves. Tri-Cities, lower 90s. It's going to be hot for the water follies tomorrow. And then in Walla Walla, we're looking at highs in the upper 80s, close to 90. cloudy and hazy. 92 on Sunday, but the wind starts to pick up. We're looking at breezy conditions Monday and Tuesday. Storm system could bring us a few showers and storms Monday night into early Tuesday, and triple digits are back by the end of next week. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks, Tiffany, and thank you so much for watching. You can always catch the latest on these stories on our website, AppleValleyNewsNow.com.
World News Tonight with David Muir is coming up next. We'll see you at 6. Hoping your news is good news.